Same old trains running again tonight. I do have my Red Stripe 37 running around pulling a few hoppers. Tonight, I've got much planned for tonight. Just basically catching up, doing a bit of tidying up, chatting to you guys. Hope you're all keeping well. So, big welcome to you, and welcome to anybody who's lurking in the background. You've got any questions, pop them in the chat, see what I can do to answer them. And anybody who's watching this on a rerun, very welcome. Right, let's pull up the chat and see you in it, and I'll reduce the screens now so you can see everything. There we go. Don't forget to check out the train set shop. I know they're in Holland at the moment. It's 17th, they're back. Not sponsored, just welcome the heels up and Brian's a pretty decent bloke. Right, who's got in the chat tonight? We have Maura King. Hi Maura, how you doing? Tom Houston, Motherwell. Hi Tom. Wolf Activity PW, how you doing? Oh, Simon Trains is in the house. Time for the puns. And we also got coming in. Oh, Flannel's here. How you doing, Flannel? Hot dog brother Andy. Chat does the usual thing, disappeared from me. Why it does that? Where did I get to? Oh, yeah, final, Carlo, it's good evening, Colin. How you doing? Ira Van Zorn, how you doing? Dara's on the move chat. Hi, Dara, how you going? If you got any questions, Dara, I think it was you asked me a question in one of my videos. Pop them into chat, help you out, because I think you said you've got your first DCC system for Christmas. If you're something, I think give us a shout. New Model Railway, good evening. Anyone else come in? Joshua W50 came in. Joshua, how you doing? Chris Valley 56, good evening, Chris. How are you keeping? Well, the mic isn't working so well. All right, okay, what's going on there? Let me just check that. Testing. Is that better? For some reason, it swapped mics on me. Mine, but before I went live, I checked it was on the right mic, and it swapped over for some reason. So you should all hear me better now. Pete and Richard Troy, how are you doing? Martin Trains episode, good evening. Oh, Brian's in the house. Hi, Brian. I'm assuming you're feeling better now. You know you had a bit of a dose before Christmas. That dose is going around at the moment, 5 to 6 weeks to be clear. Entry times and models, Linda. Good evening. How are you doing? Jerry BBR is in the house. You're looking in the background. Other commitments. Ooh. So I hope that's audio. Lots of frequency feedback. All right, let me just check that everything is muted. Bear with me a second. It's all muted. I don't know if you can hear me a minute, guys. I'm probably just going to disappear a second. I'm just going to reset this. All right, guys, I don't know if anybody can hear me. There might be a bit of squealing. I'm just about to change my mic over because it's not happy. Right, how is that? Is that better? Can people hear me now? Squealing done? Right, so for some reason, it is not happy with the mic. I want to change. Right, okay, let's try something completely different. Again, guys, there might be squealing. Stand by. Let me know if that's any better. Oh, now I've got an echo. That's better, is it? I just need to mute this. Right, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what was going on. StreamYard wouldn't accept my normal Rode mic. Like it's plugged in the same every week and it just wouldn't accept it. So I presume Windows has had some sort of update to make it work better. So I've had to plug it into my movable camera. So hopefully everybody can hear me fine. You just let me know in chat if that's better. Volume's a bit down, right? Is that better? It needs to go up. I can put it up one more. Much better. Excellent. Right, we're rolling. Sorry, that took 15 minutes to sort out. Sorry about that, guys. Where was I? I'm not going to be able to get back through the chat now. So hello to anybody who came in while the mic issues are on. Sorry about that. Couldn't be helped. I don't know why. You test these things before you go live and they work perfectly, and then you hit the live button and it goes, no, I'm not going to work. I'm going to make you look like an idiot. I see Canadian Logistics is in. How you doing? John Penny's in as well. New Model Railway, Turco Double O Railways. That's Elizabeth in South Africa. Hope you're keeping well. Loud and clear now. Excellent. Well, how's everybody's weather? I know Elizabeth in South Africa is probably enjoying sunshine and warmth. We've been actually put into an orange weather warning here in Donegal for cold weather. It snowed a bit last night, and then that just froze solid. So schools were closed today. My missus couldn't go to work. Everything was frozen solid. I can't get out of my house because the road up to the road is, of course, isn't gritted, and it's slippy as hell. And it is cold. I've actually got the fire lit on here tonight. We've got the heat, and make matters worse, woke up what day? Tuesday morning, woke up. Why is the heat not on? Ran out of oil. I wouldn't mind, but I checked it a few weeks ago and there was plenty of oil. But of course, over Christmas, it's been on 24/7. Thankfully, they were able to come out within a couple of hours. Got a full tank of oil now, and was able to bleed the boiler. Got it back up and running. Right, I got another little Christmas present. So I'll show you guys. I got some storage trays. Comes with a lid. You can actually take the lid off and stack them on top of each other, so each box becomes a lid, and you need a lid for the top. Right. So it's 13 divisions on it. It's got these little things that you can vary the length for whatever loco you want to put in. So I got a couple of these. A friend of mine is making them. So these are sort of prototypes. So he's given them to me to test. And then once he's happy with them and I think they're working okay, then we might release them to give people a go, see what they think. So I'll just put the camera over there so you can see. So I'm going to use this now because I do have a couple of different rakes of things. So you can see you can put the, made it quite a tight fit. So we can just put that in.
And put that down. Oh, that one go in. Right. As we see, there's a few little kinks to be worked out. There we go. So it keeps it nice and secure. What I might do with this is I might just add a little bit of padding. What I'm thinking is that white underlay stuff that you get when you put down a wood flooring. It's quite thin, so I think some of that along one side or something like that, just to give it a little bit of extra protection. So yeah, I'm going to use this now for all my rakes, so I can keep them all in one place, because at the moment they have they're sort of scattered in boxes and stuff. And instead of putting them all back in the original boxes, which can be a bit cumbersome, I can now keep them all in one place. They're designed to go in as the really useful containers. So you can stack, I think, 3 or 4 of them, depending on which container you get into them. I'll bring Sean and kitchen roll. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, just some kitchen roll, because it just needs a little bit of protection to stop any rubbing. That's really all it needs. Do let me know in the chat if the sound goes again. SJ TrainWorld, Simon, how you doing? Arnville's in as well. How you doing? Oh, Valerie's in as well. Hi, Valerie. So if you've been putting any questions, put them in again so I see them, because unfortunately, microphone problem there. I skipped a lot of the chat. So hi to anybody lurking. Hi to any new subscribers. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. I don't think Jason's on tonight, so I might keep going to about 9 o'clock tonight, if that's okay with everyone. Tonight's beverage of choice is the old Dr. Pepper and Iron Brew. So anyone who's new here, what we've got going around is Class 92 pulling a load of HFA hoppers, you know, pretty prototypical. We have a 37 pulling some HAA hoppers. We have an Irish Rail Class 141 pulling some Eastern Region car transporters. EWS Class 37 pulling some CDA hoppers, which is probably the most prototypical one here, because most of the hoppers are marked up as EWS, so it's pretty close. Keeping an eye on the chat at all. Dr. Pepper and Iron Brew, yes. Not at the same time. One after the other, so I'm on the Dr. Pepper first. So I'm going to dig out these other carriages and put them in these boxes. Say any questions, pop them in the chat, and I will try and keep an eye on the chat. So what I'm putting in here is I've got a rake of 11 of these Hornby Pullman coaches with the table lamps. Now, some of them are the same. They have the same name or the same number on them. They're not all unique. Most of them have drop link couplings on them. I am going to be getting the Buckeye magnetic couplings from West Hill Wagon Works. And I'm also going to be getting some couplings for the hoppers and everything, because there has been a few derailments where there's buffer clash. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. 11 in there. So then if I choose a loco, I've got space for a loco to go in there as well. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the chat. 50. So manage your hamstring it. Oh, nasty. Oh, there's Seamus himself, Loader County Model Flying Club. He's also 3D Lasercraft. He's designing these boxes. So I'm doing a test run on them at the moment. Iron out any kinks. Well, Seamus, when do you think you'd have these available? That's the question. Of course, we will be able to post them to the UK and Europe, thanks to our current geography. He's obviously in his workshop working at the moment and heard me talking about them, which is why he's come online. Yes, depends what computer I use and what I can design with. Oh, you just tuned in. I was just saying these boxes you've designed, Seamus, that I'm doing a test run on. People were just wondering when you would have the one available for dispatch. I was just saying that I'm just giving them a test run in a minute, see how they work, iron out any kinks, and then can look at producing them for sale. I say they do stack. Another one. We can put another one on top, and that acts as the lid. So they stack nicely on top. Oh, that over so you can see. Oops. So you can stack them now. Right, now in this one, I'm going to put my Mark 3s for my 125. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 8 in there. Oh, Clive's in. Hi, Clive. How you doing? Oh, Elizabeth, take care. Catch you again. How does everyone store their locos and rolling stock when not in use? Well, this is how I'm going to be doing it for now, John, because this is the whole because I don't like I have plastic tubs here and I don't like keeping them in that because there's rubbing and they can get damaged. Something like this is more secure. Yes, you could put them back in their original boxes, but who's got time for that? It's much handier to have something like this. They can just plunk it in, and if you've got rakes of something, then you can keep the whole rake together. Like this is, so in here I've got my rake on, the bottom one is my rake of Pullman coaches with the lights. This is going to be my HST rake. So I've got space to put the locos in as well, the dummy car and the loco in here. So I've got 8 carriages. And likewise with my hopper trains as well, I'd be able to probably put 3 hoppers in each one. Do WWS do this type? I know they have the ones with the drawers, but they do this type of tray. No, Simon, steady on. Put them on the wall, shallow shelves. Yeah, other people have that. They have shelving where they put it all. Oh, Brian's in the house. Hi, Brian. How's it going? Oh, hi, Andy. Moreland Motor Railway. Didn't realize you're there. On Moneybrook Junction's in as well. Hi, guys. How you all doing? Tonight, Brian, I am drinking Dr. Pepper. You know, just for a change. Markland Trains takes his, wraps them in a newspaper and puts them in a cardboard box. Yeah, that's fine. I just like the idea of this, that I can mark the box in HST, Pullman's, and I know exactly where I got it, because I'm thinking ahead to when I might be taking this layout to shows, that I can say, right, I'm taking these are the rakes I'm taking for the show, and I can just put them in a box and they're all in one place. It keeps them all nice and safe. Sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Use it as the underbed boxes. We can never find anything. I came in when you sounded like Kermit in a drain pipe. Yeah, I don't know what was going on tonight. The usual setup, the laptop wouldn't recognize the mic and it kept kicking it off. I don't know what it was. It was working when I'd done a test beforehand, and then as soon as I went live, I went, do you know what? No, I'm not going to work. Do you know what I'm going to do is, because I've got these loose, is I'm just going to put these in here for now. Let's say for now, this is where they'll stay forever now. This is just what's this? 121 DMU. Really, I'm just putting them in here so they're protected. Just putting in the partitions now. That just stops them rolling around. A bit of a knack getting these in, but then I can keep these. So I just need to get some bigger tubs to put these boxes in to protect them. It's actually quite a nice tight fit there. So I feel like one of those magicians that's going to saw the lady in half, putting in the and then I've got space left, so I'm going to put my Winhoff unit in there, because again, it is just rolling around in a plastic box. Give it some protection. Seems the last one's a little bit narrower. Oh, that's what's wrong. Oh, the cutouts is in there. That's better. There we go. Let's just take the camera over, show you that. So you can see there I got my HSTs, my DMU, and my Winhoff unit in there. Oh, Timber surfs in, is he? How are you doing, Timber? Yes, that's a good question. Does anyone know how Mav is doing? And I heard he wasn't very well. I heard it was nothing serious, but he was just under the weather. But Mav, if you happen to be watching, get well soon, mate. I hope you're doing okay. Stephen Train Markland, I was at Modeller's Corner to see your build layout before Christmas, and it was very impressive. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it. James Wally, if I'm planning loops, would one controller be okay? Okay, first question, James. Is it going to be DC or DCC? So I'll keep an eye out for your answer to that question. Right, I'm going to put these trays down on the floor, back under the layout, because they're in such a position there that I'm going to knock them off and the whole lot's going to go on the floor. Before Christmas, I was doing some work on the pedigo layout in the museum, and I found one of my carriages, this Hornby Mark III, so one of the train sets, I think it's Hornby. Yeah, Hornby. And it was stuck in the tunnel. I'd come off the track and was lying on its side. I don't know how long it's been in there. I didn't even notice it missing. So I rescued that just before Christmas. Joburg Junction, Tony, how are you doing? DC and 2 loops. James, if you're going to be DC, then for each loop, you need 1 controller. So you'll need 2 controllers for the 2 loops. Because 1 controller will only control 1 train on DC. I can't remember where did I do a video on that. I probably did do it. I think I'd done a DC video sometime because somebody asked me the question on it and I was trying to explain it. Every now and again, going through that double slip, it causes a short. Not every time. Every now and again. So see what's causing that. The map is okay, still not out of trouble yet, but hopefully it'll be okay soon. Oh, great to hear. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, as Flymo says, you need isolation on the loops. So if you've got 2 points a crossover, you'll need some sort of isolation. I'm sure I did do a video on how to operate 2 loops with the DC, bring them across the points. Yeah, anything DC, ask Mr. DCC himself, Brian at Finnerton. Horse's head is in the post. Yeah, if you do a search for, the thing is, if you do a search on my channel for DC, it brings up DC and DCC. I'm sure there's a video there I done on somewhere. I don't think it was that long ago. It might have been in the last 6 months. Like I've been doing this YouTube now for 4 years. Be coming up to 5 years, I think, because I started during COVID. So yeah, it'll be 5 years in April or May when I put my first video up, because I put up 1 video and then it was a couple of months later before I put up the next video. But DC, yeah, if you put DC in quotation marks and it won't find DCC. See, there's always somebody with an answer. Yeah, so I plan to get a few more of those boxes. I'll keep you apprised of them, how Seamus gets on with them and what design he comes up with and improvements. But yeah, because he also wants to do design different bits and pieces. Sorry, I'm on the Iron Brew now. It's only 8:10. Martin Tranger says he just uses isolated tape. Yep. Yeah, I said Seamus is going to be working on because Seamus has a business doing 3D crafts. He does a lot of Christmas ornaments and stuff. And I don't know if you've seen the coasters and the Drumbo thing and different bits and pieces that we've had to sell in the museum shop. He's the one who produces all those. He's actually the current chairman because I stepped down from the chairman role last year. So he's the current chairman and he's keeps asking me when I'm coming back. I said, no, you're chairman now. I quite like this sitting back, watching other people sweat. So yeah, we're going to be doing some work together over the next couple of months, looking at different buildings and things he can make. We can produce different bits and pieces, because there's a lot of people who are doing it in the UK, but now, because of different regulations and Brexit and that, they're not necessarily going to be shipping it to Northern Ireland because of the protocol that came in a couple of weeks ago, and also to Europe. So if it's something we can do, because I will be starting over here. I was hoping to have this video done this week, but just between the snow and ice and packing away all the Christmas stuff over the weekend, just didn't have time to do it. In fact, tonight, because we got snow on the ground, I hadn't taken in the outside lights. I've actually switched them on tonight because they look so nice with the snow on the ground. So we got our Christmas lights outside back on. I know people out there be going, oh, but just put them on just to see how they looked and take a little video of them. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me, guys. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. Oh, Kieran's in the house. Hi, Kieran. How you doing? J94. Good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Sponsored by Iron Brew. Right. Light's not on. Yep. Those lights on. Nope. So I'm using the tablet, as you can see there, to go with my Gauge Master system to control the trains. This is so much easier than, because you can have this one, you can have up to 6 locos on the roster, so you can just control them all. And you have a dead stop button on there. If you have any problems, you just hit that, everything dies. So if anybody's new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for me. Say if you have any questions, pop them into the chat. You can see I've got my Donegal Dad poster back up on the wall. That's thanks to Brian Madden. He got me that Christmas last year. I actually had it down because I was doing some filming over there, and when I was moving it around, the string snapped on it, and I just managed today put a new string on it and put it back up. Yeah, London Underground. That's the word I was looking for. I just couldn't think of what was it. Yeah, Flybo's just put a link up there to the Google's doc. I have that Google's doc on there, just purely if you don't want to put the question in the chat, you can just go into the Google's doc and write it, and then I see it, and then I can answer the question. I will be doing another community post to see if anybody's got any questions they want me to do a video on. I'd done it a few months ago, and it took me a couple of months to do all the videos that people wanted. But if I can do a video on it to help somebody, to show somebody to do something, I'm quite happy to do that. That's if I know how to do it. I suppose the challenge could be somebody keep posting stuff till they find something I can't do. Which I'm sure there's a lot I can't do. I'm not trying to be big-headed or anything, but has anyone ever done the Inglebrook shunting puzzle? I'm going to try and incorporate it into my layout. North Down Model Railway Club have one that they take to shows, and they get kids into it to shunt the train around. They have a bag with coloured sticks in it, and all the wagons are different colors. So they pull out 3 sticks, and then that's the colors they've got to get into that order into the siding. So Booger 75, Ian, how you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well. Or a photo of the wagons. All right, yeah, I suppose that's one way to do it. So as I was saying, the next step for me now is to start the TMD. I'm probably going to be using that kit from West Hill Wagon Works to put it in there, and then have an engine shed built around that. Get that done. So obviously, what do you have to have in a TMD? You've got to obviously have an engine shed, a fueling area, possibly a loco clean wash, a couple of sidings. Is there anything else you need? There's something I'm missing? Obviously, there's going to have a head shunt because it's going to come off here into the head shunt, then in to the TMD. Yeah, because once I get, oh, there's a sneeze coming. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because once I get that done, that's the last 2 sections to be wired. So once that's done, really then it's on to the scenics, doing all that. And then building the section that's going to go here where I'm stood, because it's going to go up and there's going to be basically another layout. So that you're going to have like almost a hillside continue up. And then there'll be a layout that sits on top that's going to be 009 with the Donegal rail cars running around it. So the whole idea is that you stood out there controlling the layout. So you have 009, which is probably just going to be a DC circuit, maybe using some shuttles and that sort of thing to control them. I've got the idea in my head, but I haven't put much thought into it. So you'll have the mountains come up. So you'll have in the center, you'll have a mountain peak going around it, and on there I'll have a castle or some windmills or something. So you'll have 4 trains going around and then a couple of rail cars going around on the 009 loop. And it's just a matter of blending all the scenery in together, doing it all. You're going to see once I get down there, do I have enough room to put maybe a small engine shed over there? Because again, then you could have people shunting either end, steam that end, diesel. That was my idea, but now I put the loops in. Is there enough room, or is it going to be too much? Can I fit it in? But we'll just see how it develops. Because I want to have a layout so when I take it to shows, there's stuff running on it all the time so people can see it. Kids can have a go at either controlling these trains or shunting either end, which means I'm probably going to need about 2 or 3 people to help me control it. So if I'm at any shows and there's some volunteers who want to help me, I'll be looking for it, but I'll say it's going to be at least a year before. So I'm hoping maybe I can get this to a show in 2026. Which reminds me, we're running a show 22nd and 23rd of February, same weekend as the Scottish show in Donegal. On the 22nd, the show will be in the museum in Derry. And then on the Sunday, the show will be in the museum in Donegal, because we're doing a cross-border thing. Model show is part of the whole thing. The idea is it's a weekend for people to come in to talk about railways. There's going to be a few talks. The idea is people to come in, tell us their stories. If they've got any artifacts, to bring them in to show us so we can help them identify it and give them the history of it, that sort of thing. and as well, let's say, having a model show. The weekend before that, which I think is it this Sunday, the 16th or 17th of February, is Worley's Open Day, and I actually will be at that because we're coming over especially to pick up the infra layout. So I'll be at the Worley Open Day. So anybody around the Birmingham Worley area who's going to that, I'll see them there that day. Yeah, we're coming over. I'm getting the night ferry from Belfast on the Saturday night. So we'll be there Sunday during the day and then getting the ferry back Sunday night to Belfast with the layout. So that'll be a bit of a, that will be a bit of a long journey for me, but looking forward to it. Let's see, where am I? It's HGP Media. We'll also be there all day. We'll say, like, yeah, do come along and say hello. It'll be easy to spot. I'll probably be wearing this red top, wrestling with a layout, trying to get into the van, wondering how we're going to do it and secure it so it doesn't roll around in the back of the van. And we're going to be taking tools with me and some wood and everything so I can build some sort of frame in the van. Yeah, see, I was planning to go to Model Rail Scotland because I've never been, and every year I say I'll go. And I thought I'll go this year, but then it turns out it's the only weekend where we could host something the same weekend that Fall Valley Railway could host something. So that's the weekend we chose. And because this is grant aided, we have a certain time limit to do it. Which is the other thing about the show we're having. There's no entry fee on it because we're getting cross-border funding for it. It's free to come in and have a look. So we're hoping that will bring a load of people in. Hopefully I'll have the SG. Okay, I'll look out for it. It's not too long a trip. Like to the ferry is 2 hours, and then I think it's about another 2 hours once you get off the ferry from Birkenhead to Birmingham. I think it's only about 2.5 hours. And we'll be driving Sunday morning. I think the ferry gets in about 7. So we'll be driving Sunday morning, so the traffic hopefully won't be too bad. And then we have to be back at the port for around 8, I think, because it sails at 10. So, but it's an overnight ferry. It comes with a cabin. You get 8 hours sleep on there because usually you get on the ferry maybe an hour before it sails, grab something to eat, get to your cabin, and usually sleep before the thing even sails. So maybe I'll get to Glasgow next year. If you see a really good-looking guy with a video camera, it's not me. Yeah, it won't be me either. Yeah, I say I'll be the one in the back of a van with an Irish red swearing. That'll be me. Do you snore? I do snore. Because Seamus is coming over with me. I say it's a boys' weekend, but most of it we spent on a ferry or in a van. So, but I'm thinking of coming over this year, and I'm going to do as if Worley and Getz falls on the same weekend. I'm going to come over, do Worley one day, and Getz the next. And I think I'm going to be bringing my missus with me. So I said, you've got to come over to a show with me and have a look around. She sort of said yes. So I'm holding her to that now. Yeah, Maura, are you still snowed in down there? We had a little dose of snow last night, only a layer, and of course then it froze solid, so we're just on skating around on solid ice at the moment. But it's be gone in a couple of days. Times are going back. So you know what us Belfast hooligans are like. Yeah, I'll be just getting out of Belfast as quickly as I can. How big are the exhibitions over in Inai? Are they worth a trip? Probably the two biggest shows in Ireland would be the one in April, Bangor. That's usually pretty big, and the one that's on in Dublin, the October bank holiday in Dublin. So that's the last weekend, last Monday in October is a bank holiday in the Republic, and they have a 3-day event in Dublin. So this year, I think will be the bigger one because they alternate between sort of North Dublin and South Dublin. So the South Dublin is bigger than the North one. So yeah, the Bangor show and the Dublin show are probably the biggest. And then you have one in Belfast in August. You have one in Wexford in May. You have another one in Bangor in May. You have the little one we're putting on, which probably is going to be a max of 10 layouts in Donegal and Derry in February. I'm sending out. They say the one in Enniskillen in September. And then there's another one at Christmas in Bangor. I probably missed one. I know, I think, is it the Midwest Club or the Midlands Club is planning to put a show on as well, I think, this year. I need to get all the dates and put them up on my Facebook page. We're looking to work on it, yeah. Right, I was thinking if I seen something in the shop, Mark. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. I could get Brian. How far away are you from the Warley Club, Brian? So even though I lived in the UK for about 10 years, my UK geography is pretty shocking. I suppose we get you to post all the stuff to the Warley Club, and then I pick it up and bring it back across. Do you want to do a model show in Ireland? You again signed in the wrong account. If you snore, you need your own cabin. Oh, Digger's in the house. Hi, Digger. How you doing? And Elmore, see, I've got a special address in the north that can be sent to. So then it doesn't go through customs. What time are we at now? Oh, it's just gone 8:30. Yeah, Jason's not on tonight, is he? Just in case he's gone live. I'm sat here yapping away. He done a surprise live last week from, is it Blakemore or Blakemere? Waiting for that video that Richard New Junction was doing. Was actually, that's not out yet, is it? I missed it. I remember where I lived. Well, see, I lived in Bristol, which not quite as far south as you can go, but I should get a passport. Brian, if you fly into Belfast You don't need a passport because that's an internal flight. You just need proof of ID, so driver's license or something. That is if you fly with EasyJet. If you fly with Ryanair, no matter where you're going, they only take a passport. Busy with a granddaughter, 14 months old and full of adorable mischief. Yeah, it's always adorable until they break something. It's like, oh, don't worry, I only had that for 40 years. Flymo, did you not get the calendars, the order that you put in? Because if you didn't get one, I've got one here. Message me your address again and I'll stick it in the post to you. A quarter mile away from the southernmost bit of Wales. Yeah. If you're not causing mischief, you're doing something wrong. So what would happen if I flew into Belfast without a passport, or travelled into Ireland without a passport? Absolutely nothing. The trouble would be if you tried to fly out of the Republic, if you tried to fly out of Dublin or whatever, that would worry you. But if you fly into Belfast with EasyJet now, you'll have to check the other airlines, but with EasyJet, they just need ID. And I've been on flights into Belfast sometimes from Birmingham, Manchester, and sometimes they don't even check ID. You just scan your board and pass, and away you go. But yeah, but I say if you're traveling with Ryanair, no matter even if it's an internal flight, whatever, you'd have to have a passport. But double check that because that was with EasyJet, it may have changed. Yeah, it's not like when you come up to the border in from north to south that there's a checkpoint or anything. The only way you know that you've gone across the border is suddenly the road signs change. Oh, that's not a double slip, it's the point. Let's pull that train through. All right, guys, I'll get back to the chat in a second. What's going on there? Let's check that after the stream, just see what the issue is. It might be one or two kept for people who ordered but never received. Okay, yeah, well, check with Niall and see if there's any left. Oh, Mark the Trains is back. No problem. I just went and get out again. Yeah, say when you cross the border, you don't notice. It's just the road signs change. That's it. Like where I live, as you fly, the border is about 8 miles away from me, and like I'm in and out of the north all the time. And Tom flew to Germany without a passport. Yeah, free movement of the people in and out of the Republic is an older agreement than the EU regulations. Exactly. The common travel area, which is between the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom, goes back far before the EU was thought of. You didn't need, technically you don't need a passport to go from the Republic of Ireland to the UK. But obviously you need a passport for ID, for security. Army don't count. flew from JFK to Heathrow, and as it was late, I realised I left Heathrow and hadn't had to show ID. Yeah. So, Flightmate, was the I tell you what, I'll message you after the stream. All right, how are we doing? I'm almost out of Iron Brew. I'll just do the bit of product placement for Brian there. I'm not sponsored by them. Even charged me for the mug. There he is with the link. Jason Lee, hi, how you doing? All right, keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much, Jason. Yeah, I picked up another channel member, which I should remember their name. But this is the thing about YouTube. Unless you check it once a week, whatever, they never tell you when you get new channel members. Which is a pain. And I just happened to be checking, and it said, "Oh, you gained a new channel member." So you just remember his name. I think it was Niall. Yes, the real Niall Kelly. Well, thank you for becoming a channel member. Yeah, so there probably won't be a video out this week because I just haven't got around to it between packing up the Christmas stuff, snow and ice, kids being off school. Just haven't had time to come in here and do anything. Like, this is the first time I've been back in here playing trains since the live stream last week. It reopens in 8 days. Are you getting some mugs, more mugs, Brian? Okay, Ro, would you know how to wire a Markland M-track turnout to a switch? No, I don't really know anything about Markland and their track. Yeah, I did get a Markland train set to see what it was like, but they're actually, their track, how it works, I wouldn't know. But there's a lot of guys out there who do Markland. Who's the Swedish guy? Was Markland? He does a lot of Markland stuff. Middle stepdaughter used to live in Donegal town, so familiar with the area. Oh, very good. Yes, it's very cold at the moment, Donegal town. There's a layer, I would say there's not a layer of snow, there's a layer of ice on everything. It was so thick on the car this morning, I had to actually chip it off. Markland of Sweden, that's it, yeah. Oh yeah, that's, yeah, poor old Jeff. Sympathies go out to him and his family. He lost his dad New Year's Day, I believe it was. So condolences to him, and I believe his mum had a fall as well then a couple of days later, so he's really been through the ringer at the moment. So Oh yes, Hi would be another one. Yeah, H&H Express. Does he do Markland track? I can't remember. There's Timber put a link up to Markland of Sweden. So I wrecked a wiper blade the other morning due to ice. I've got into the habit now of pulling my wipers off or making sure my wipers, because I'd done that once and it wasn't that it wrecked the wiper blade, it blew the fuse. So I had no wipers at all, which I always carry spare fuses anyway in the car, but it's a pain when it's freezing cold. You're trying to find the fuse. This is yeah, that's Jeff, the Scenic 3D. Yeah, funny enough, I put a video out last week, which I showed off his little jig for the points, which fantastic idea. They work so well. Of course, I can't lay my hands on it now. Got a little toolbox that I just have stuff in there for track laying. You think I can see it now? Yeah. No, don't know where that's gone. But yeah, he does these jigs for putting in all different types of point motors, and it makes it so simple and so easy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're all thinking of Jeff at this sad time. He's having it tough at the moment. Never pour hot water in your windscreen. Yeah, well, to be honest, I just use cold water. Oh, Josh is off. Good night, Joshua. We'll be in Birmingham again in April. Probably not. I need to save my pennies this year. So as I say, if I'm going across, it will be to do Worley and Getz, which I think they are on the same weekend in October. I'll be, me and my missus coming over to do one day in Getz, one day in Worley. So we're thinking fly into Birmingham, travel down to Milton Keynes, probably on the Thursday, stay a couple of nights in Milton Keynes, meet up with everybody on the Friday night, Saturday, then Sunday head up to Worley, stay a night in Birmingham, and then fly back Monday, something like that. Spent the last 4 hours individually painting double O brakes just on my 8th color. I said rectangular. Oh, we've all been there doing stuff like that. That's a myth. I use hot water. You just know now, Brian, you're going to go out tomorrow, pour hot water on, and your windscreen is going to go. It's good though, like a check bunker if you know. Yeah, and I'm sure we do all send our sympathies off to Jeff and his family. He's having a tough time at the moment. Well, apart from shorting out on a point, which I need to look at, see what's causing that, because it doesn't do it every time around. Let's see what the issue is. The layers run quite well tonight, and they're running at a relatively slow, sedate speed. They're not racing around. There's some issues. Certainly, doing the permanent wiring on the other sections that I've done over just before Christmas, that has helped the running immensely. Yeah, Anthony doesn't do tutorials. He just does. He has Markland, but he just does a live stream on Friday evenings. Which I'm surprised he's not in tonight. He must be stuck with. I say stuck with us. Horrible way to put it. He must be looking after his grandson again. There's Kyan, our top moderator. Where sparkles before the eyes. Yeah, so bear in mind we'll be having our show 22nd, 23rd of February in Derry and then Donegal. And then I'll be going to the open day in Worley, which is the Sunday before, which I think is a, let me just see what date that is. It's the 16th. So I'll be there on the 16th. So when you're local to that area, you want to join a club, come along to their open day and see what they're all about. I'm a member of the Worley Club. I'm an associate member because I'm out of town. I don't think I'm the furthest out of town member they have, but yeah, can't keep Anthony busy, certainly. Next job on the layout is to do the TMD, get the track laid for that. Not necessarily get the track laid, but get the points in position, because then I can take this up, wire in the points, then that's these sections wired, these sections here. Then once that's done, it's really onto the scenery. One of the other jobs I got to do is the hoppers and carriages and everything. I want to get the magnetic couplings for them from West Hill Wagon Works. Hunt couplings, yes, the word left me then for a while. Yeah, hunt couplings from West Hill Wagon Works. I'm also going to get the detailed depot, diesel depot thing, the 2-lane, what do they call it? The interior to go on the layout as well. And then really it's just going to be into scenery. So first thing will be ballasting the whole thing, which shouldn't take too long because I have that vacuum that I use for ballasting, and it makes it so quick and so simple. You'll probably do this whole layout in an hour. Then it'll be onto the scenery, and I've a rough idea in my head how I'm going to do the scenery, what I'm going to do. So there's going to be, so hang on, let me just make there. So the idea is this middle one here, which descends to the lower level, that's going to disappear down into a tunnel. Bit of a hillside here, so this one will probably go into a tunnel, come out about here. This one will go around the outside. If I can put some sort of engine shed in over there, I will. I'm not sure with the scenics how it's going to work. So this road down here, for the most part, it will be hidden, so you won't see it. And then round about here, I think I might put in some sort of river scene, because I think I can put a river in, so the river will be high enough to give clearance over these tracks. We'll see how it works when I'm building it, and just see how it all flows in together. Then come around here. Again, there'll be more scenics. I'm thinking I'm going to have to put a longer head shunt in here, so it might be a bit of a hillside with a tunnel, but the train goes into the head shunt. And then we'll have the engine shed. Then here, there's going to be a bit of a station. It's not going to be a massive station. It's going to be a couple of platforms. Sort of a platform here, island platform. Bit of a road there with a station, and then all the scenery will go up, and then probably about 6 to 8 inches off of here will be the next level with the 009 running around it, and it'll all go up into a hillside, which I'll use some of the castle parts on the top of it and that sort of thing. So the whole idea is that the layout will be, you'll have to walk all the way around the layout to see it. So it just means whenever it's at a show. If I can't get a space so you can walk all around it, certainly it'll just be from probably that side around. So, but again, this is all in the mind's eye. When I get to actually building it, might change, but I'm pretty happy with the track layout. Everything's running fine. It's not a layout to be operational, to move things around. And like certainly, yeah, you can do some shunting in the engine shed, the TMD and the engine shed if I put it down there. And it's all the top level has DCC controlled points, so I can move stuff around. But the whole idea of it is to, why's that stopped? Is to have stuff for rolling around, because my idea is to have things moving, get kids involved in the hobby. So this is what you can do, this is what you can make. So that's my sort of view of this layout. And I'm hoping, because the bit I really enjoy doing is the scenery, so you don't need the motivation to do that. Whereas when you're doing this, I can't do the wiring. That's a lot of soldering and messing around. But when you're doing the scenics, you can actually see something happen and it starts to come together very quickly. So I'm hoping that I can get a lot of the scenery done over there. See, now I've said it's running, everything's running fine, everything's stopping now. Yeah, so that's the plan for the layout. Let me just go back to the chat to see if I missed anything. There's there, diamonds. Model Train Fund does marketing tutorials. They've got something like 12. Yeah, is that the open day? Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of different layouts there on the open day because they do different gauges as well, and DC and DCC as well. So at the open day, there's a lot to see there, and it's quite impressive their unit they have. Second, yeah. So 22nd to 23rd. So the 22nd is a Saturday, going to be held in Derry at the Fallside Museum. And then on the Sunday, we're going to be in Donegal. It's actually going to be in the community centre, which is right beside our museum. So you'll be able to look around the layouts and everything like that and look around the museum as well. That was linked to West Hill Wagon Works. Yeah, if you want to try out the Hunt Complex, they do like a sample pack, Chris. So you can buy that, and it's different lengths of ones and things, and you can just have a look at them and try them and see how they work. And I find that they work really well. Brian Roberts, good evening. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Lord Al seems to like, yeah, I might actually give him a buzz and say, because I must admit that they do so many of them, and I looked at them and it was just like, oh, which ones do I need? You know, and I actually thinking about, I do have the sample pack somewhere, so that will, you know, the sort of close coupling, medium coupling, and long coupling, I suppose. So I can actually try some of them on the wagons and see which ones work best. Are you going to make a playlist about building this layout? Yeah, I usually do put a playlist together of the layouts I build. There's a playlist for the Christmas layout, a playlist for the layout I've done for Modeler's Corner. Hopefully now Modeler's Corner is going to become a DCC concept stockist, because I was chatting to him last week when I was over there, and he's going to look into it. So if he does, that will open up DCC concepts to the rest of Europe, hopefully. Yeah, it must be horrible for people who are snowed in, because I know there's a few down south of the country that haven't had power for about 4 or 5 days. So that's pretty. And of course, yeah, you have all the homeless are out, which they seem to find emergency accommodation for them when it's like this. But on the opposite, love the construction and control scenery. Meh. I've done a few videos over the end of the year. Yeah, I haven't actually looked to see, because I've been more or less trying to put a video out once a week um, since the end of 2020. So that's a fair few videos. And I've done a lot of live streams as well. Like during lockdown, I was doing a lot of live streams. Might have only had 5 or 10 people in back then when I first started, but yeah, we've grown up. I just love this community we have now. I love people coming in on Thursday evenings and having this chat and just blathering on and answering people's questions and encouraging people, and people are stuck, just trying to help them out. Yeah, they are pretty strong, those couplings. Yeah. What is your job? I'm actually an IT project manager. So I look after a lot of infrastructure, IT infrastructure projects. Oh, there's my brother, Jonathan, and Belle. Hi, Belle. How you doing? Are you watching the trains going around? Belle is my niece, also my goddaughter, and apparently only recognizes me when I'm wearing my red jacket, because they live down the country. So every time she sees me is Thursday evenings. And they came to visit one day, and she didn't recognize me until I put my red top on. Oh, there's a link for the channel membership. Thanks, Flamo. Yeah, it's not mandatory, but I take the money I earn from this channel and use it to buy bits and pieces and maintain the layouts in the museum. So actually, I don't spend the money on my own layout. It actually goes there before Christmas. I bought another loco for the layouts. I got to take in. I've got to get a new shuttle one because one of them failed. So doing the scenery, building the baseboards and things like that. So I think I sort of keep a spreadsheet on it, and I spent the guts of the past couple of years. I think it was 1,600 sterling earnings from the channel that I've spent on buying bits and pieces for the railway. No trains around. You have the most dangerous crossings sometimes. Sound the horn anyway. I got a sound one here. I can sound the horn. Well, that's the short I done, isn't it? Yeah, less said about that, the better. It's actually very comfy, that sofa, for sleeping on. It's actually that one there. What got me into model trains? I don't know. I've always liked trains. Like, I grew up in Donegal. There was no trains around here. There, near where I used to live growing up, there was the track bed of the old Donegal Railway that I used to go and play on. And then when I used to, because my mum is from Bristol, so we used to go over on summer. My granddad used to take me down to Temple Meads and go onto the platform and watch the trains and stuff like that. Like, I must have seen like 47s, 37s and everything all these sort of models I've going around now, but I remember being there, but I have no recollection of the engines or anything like that. Anytime I got to go on a train ride, I used to love it. And when I moved over to England in the late 80s, I got a job as a paper boy, and I spent my money buying model railways. My first purchase was a Class 37 from Nobby's Hobbies down in Gloucester Road in Bristol. He was very good model shop. Let's say everyone should support the model shops, because you'd go in there and he actually broke. It was a Hornby train set with 37 came in, and he was actually breaking up the train set, and he sold me the loco for 15 quid, which was like 3 weeks work for me. So you only get a fiver a week. And then I bought a Flying Scotsman train set. I got that from one of those catalogs. I can't remember the name of the catalog. It was something like where you pay like 2 quid a week or something like that. So I paid over the odds for it, but it was the only way I could afford to buy it, and that cost me 100 quid. And then I've just been buying and building up layouts since then. Like I always had train sets as a child. You know, you'd have the wind-up clockwork train set or the battery-operated one. But it's not until you get older and you get your own house and your own place, and then you can start building layouts. You know, because when my kids were all small, didn't really have time for it. I got a couple of lovely pictures of one of the houses we're in, where we're in the attic, and I've got my kids up in the attic because they all have their own Thompson tank engine, and they're all up in the attic with me playing on my layout. But yeah, none of them are interested in it now. They're all older, and but they do come and give me a hand sometimes. As some of you would have met Rachel at shows, she's come and give me a hand, and Anna as well. She's come and give me a hand at shows, and I've roped them all in, made it very clear to them that they're not to book anything for the 22nd, 23rd of February, because I will need their help. So yeah, that's just I've always had a fascination for trains. I don't know, like, why does anybody like trains? They're hunks of metal. They can be smelly and noisy, and they go around. But why do we have a fascination with them? Why? I mean, I really enjoy building the layouts. Like, I know I said I like the scenery, but I like doing the woodworking on it. I like doing the wiring and getting the thing working. Like, there's a certain amount of satisfaction I have now that this layout, the trains are running around really slow. Yes, there's a few issues at that point over there, but I'm sure that's nothing that won't take 2 minutes to sort out. But getting them all working, getting the wiring, you know, getting the permanent wiring in now and everything's running so well, there's a certain satisfaction with that. And then, you know, and it's quite therapeutic just watching the trains go around, you know, sitting here relaxing. Trains are cool. And some people would disagree with us, like some of my kids. Although my son started watching train documentaries, and he was starting getting a bit worried because I'm actually enjoying this. I don't know. So I say that's how it starts. Oh, that iron brew is getting a bit warm. Yeah, there's a lot of narrow gauge rail around doing different things, and it's funny when you're a railway person, you spot it as you go around. You see the old embankments, you'll see the old gates and the old fences and the telegraph poles, and you know, you look at somebody's house and think, oh, that's an old girder. That's an old rail they're using as a girder there, or you know, you spot these things a mile off. Yeah, Chris, I like sitting there. I love the new Gauge Master system I've got, and having the tablet that I can just sit out there on the sofa, have something on YouTube, watching my trains go around. Because when I had the 6x4 layout over on the side there, that was actually connected to the bus on this. So I had the tablet here controlling the 4 trains on here and the 2 trains on there, and I could just sit there and have everything go around. It's great when it worked. And it'll all be when you just sit here, you're sat there relaxing, and something would derail over here. So you're racing around to try and get to it. For some reason, I would always forget to just hit the emergency stop. And they would be wrong. Yeah, it is very relaxing. Like I used to have a tropical fish tank, and that used to be very relaxing, but this is more fun. Sort of cool. They can be cool. That's the other thing my granddad used to do. We used to take near where we lived in North Bristol was not far from Parkway, and the trains used to just go through a tunnel. It's all blocked off now. You can't get anywhere near it. We used to be able to walk along just above where they went into the tunnel, and used to walk along there and just watch the trains coming in and out of the tunnel. Because being the main line to South Wales, there was a train like seemed like every 10 minutes. I just see his grandfather got me into model trains. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. Like my dad had a train set when he was younger, an old triangle, and I've still got a couple of the wagons from it. And like I found that in the attic, and I used to play with it. It had a Meccano power controller, and it only had 7 sections of track, so it wasn't a complete oval. So I used to have it going backwards and forwards. I think it was Brian's mum got her into trains. So as Maura says, I sit for hours just watching trains go around. The scenic side is what I enjoy most. All of the tech side puzzles me. Well, if I can ever help you, Maura, just ask. And it's a learning curve as well, because model railways teach you so much. They teach you carpentry, they teach you wiring and electronics, you know, model making, the scenery side of it. And if anybody says, "Oh, I can't do that, but I'm all right at this," just give it a go. You know, just you'll soon learn it. It's not none of it is that difficult. And like people say, "Oh, I can't do the scenery," and it's like, well, neither could I when I first started. You know, but you learn, and that's the great thing. Like with building them, if you're building a model railway like this, you'll start here with the scenery, and you'll work all your way around, do all the scenery, and you get back to where you started, and you'll go, do you know what? I've improved my technique now. I reckon I can, and then you carry on around again, and you keep going around. Model railway is never finished. The other thing about having fish, you can't control the speed of them. I grew up next to the railway, used to cross the track as a shortcut to school. See, I used to cross the track to get to school, but the trains had gone for 20 years by the time I was going to school. It was just an empty track bed. Mr. X used to play with his granddad's trains, and when he passed, Mr. X had his trains. Yeah. Yeah, no health and safety. Yeah. With King's Cross, 10 minutes walk down the road. I was Nedville. Casey Jones didn't hurt either. Yeah, see, that's one thing I like doing whenever we go to Bristol is going, and it's all the heritage railways that are around Bristol as well. Like you got West Somerset, East Somerset, Avon Valley, Bitton. You've got there's a railway in Dean's, what's it, Dean's Park? No, what's it called? Dean's Valley? Can't remember. And then you've got the Gloucester, Warwickshire up near Cheltenham. You've got Swindon Museum. You've got Didcot. They're all like within an hour of Bristol. I particularly, I love going. If you've never been to Didcot, you should go because I love Didcot because you can just get in there, walk across the tracks, walk around the engine shed, see all the engines. It's just fantastic. September, best blackbirds are along the railway. Do love a disused railway. I would much prefer if the disused railways around here were in use. Dean Forest Railway, that's it. Is there a railway in the UK that you don't know, Simon? Professor Charles Xavier run a school for gifted students. It's across the branch off at Perth that used to run up the way for a while. Like what I'd love to do is like we've got the whole disused line from Galway up to Collooney, the Western Rail Corridor. Hasn't been used for 20 or 30 years. They actually just went through there before Christmas and cleared the line. And they do this every 10 years just to keep ownership of it. And everyone gets excited every time they clear it. Oh, they're going to do something. I was like, no, they're just clearing the line. But I'd love to get like a little way bogey or something like that and just scoot up and down the line. Oh, you'd be crucified for doing it. You'd end up in jail probably, but still love to do it. Just to cross the tram track in Edinburgh to get to work. Possibly London, as there's too much railway. Do most of it. They've turned all the old railway lines to greenways. Yeah, it seems to be a thing in this country now that they're building greenways all over the place, and I can see a lot of the greenways they're building are not going to be used. You know, because some of the greenways have been a fantastic success and they're a great idea, but just because one works there doesn't mean you're going to have the same effect somewhere else. And there seems to be no thought put into these greenways. It's just, oh, we've got to build greenways everywhere so everyone can walk and cycle everywhere. And it's like, yeah, I'm really gonna cycle to the next town to do my shopping. It's not gonna work, you know. And yeah, you may have some tourists using it during the summer, but I see a lot of them are just the government's put a load of money aside, so people are planning them, just keep them in jobs, and they're going to build them, and then they're just going to end up not being used. They're going to be no money for maintenance. They're going to get overgrown, and they won't be used. The main thing is South Africa, they used to steal the track to sell for scrap metal. Didn't that happen somewhere in the UK? There was a section of track, it wasn't being used, and these guys came along with lorries and orange high vises and everything and like cut up a couple of miles of track and it were scrap, and nobody said anything. So they just thought, oh yeah, it's British Rail here, they're just removing the track. I'm sure that happened somewhere in the UK. I grew up next to the Chester to Wolverhampton line, always loved the freight. First train journey was Sutton Coldfield when I joined the army in 1972. They did use part of the Harcourt line as the Lewis, yes, they did. See, Simon even knows about the trains over here as well. Some of the railways here have been turned into greenways or housing, yeah. There's expansion going on in Ireland. Oh, these greenways aren't going to last. No, I don't think they are, because they're going to be, because some of the greenways I see where they're putting, and I think people are going to, instead of using the whole greenway, they're going to drive to that section, walk that section, and then leave again. And then certain ones that go through boggy areas, they're going to get a reputation for the midges, because during the summer you cannot go outside. If you're outside of Donegal town in the countryside and it's a warm summer's evening, you cannot go outside because you will be eaten alive. You'll get mugged trying to cycle from work late at night on a greenway. Our neighbour was a class 56 and a class 37 driver. We had a marshalling yard 250. I used to get a ride on the grunt that pottered around down there. HS, well, yeah, those were the days. Someone stole a Finnish steam loco from a museum last year and scrapped it illegally. Still belonged to the government. Really? I mean, how do you steal a steam locomotive? A couple of people have said that to me about Drumbo. They said, "Aren't you worried that somebody will nick it for scrap?" And I'm like, well, it's 30 odd tons as it is at the moment. I can't see how someone would, without being there and cutting it up on site, which would be pretty obvious. I can't see how someone would be able to steal it from where it is. Presume no expansion of population was part. Yeah. I think it was 2 locos. One was rescued, but the tender had been scrapped. Oh. I'll talk about a narrow sign from projects. Building a greenway along the old Caravine to Killeorgan Railway. It's stunning. The viaduct is incredible. Do you have any pets? Personally, no, I don't have pets, but my children have. Well, my daughter has 2 rabbits, fish, a tortoise. There's also a cat. Yeah, I think that's all we have at the moment. Unfortunately, the guinea pigs we have passed away. As regular viewers to the Thursday night live stream will remember that time I had to come on late because I had to bury a guinea pig. Two cats, 2 rats, and 2 rats. 2 doggies. There are my babies. See, I have a slight allergy to cats and dogs. Doesn't make, I don't get runny. Well, sometimes I do get runny eyes and sneeze, but it tends to make my skin flare up and I get really itchy. And it used to be always at my friend's house growing up. He had a cat that wouldn't go near anyone. But if I sat down, it would come up and sit on my lap. It's like it knew. And of course, immediately, as soon as it sat on my lap, my legs would go red and itchy. And I'd be like, all I have was one very silly dog. It didn't die because you buried it. No, it was definitely gone before I buried it. I'm gonna check that. It's definitely, it's shorting out on the frog. So, but like, it's one of those annoying things with model railways, is it doesn't do it every time. It's about every 5th or 6th time round it goes, "Oh, do you know what? I'm going to short out for no apparent reason." Got 2 and a part-time cat. 2 live at home, but 1 comes down from Blackpool to stay for a few weeks. Part-time cat is my dad's, right? a cat that like that. If you didn't like cats, he'd come and convince you otherwise. Oh dear. Well, it's actually 9 or 22 minutes past 9. So I'll keep going to 9:30. Then we got this long because the iron brew is running out, and it's yeah, that's me. I'm out. 2 dogs, 2 cats, a guinea pig, and 4 grown-up kids. Yeah, I've got 6 kids. From well, the eldest will be 25 this year. The youngest, who is 10. Okay, Ian, take care. Good night. Which behaved better though. Yeah. She's a maniac on the floor. Of course, while I've been sitting here chatting, I've actually let the fire go out. I just might put a log on it to see if I can rescue it. Oh no. Yeah, I put my phone down, knocked the laptop that was controlling it, and out the webcam. Just see if I can get that working again. This is the world's slowest laptop. I think this laptop was designed to run Windows XP, I think. Oh, there's somebody creeping at the door to see if I'm still alive. This is a great thing because chatting to you guys, I get an hour or two's peace because nobody will come in here because they don't want to get caught on camera. There, back. Yeah, I lost the camera because I put my phone down near the laptop and it knocked the cable to the webcam out. Tried Dr. Pepper, didn't really like. I never used to like Dr. Pepper, but I seem to, as you get older, your tastes change. Did have a mouse I used to give a peanut to now and again, but I found it under a box of rice, so flat and very dead the other day. Oh. Like Pip better than like the works that they've done in Barnesmore Gap for the railway, where they've built the retaining walls and stuff like that. When you look at the stonework and the work that went into that, thinking back to when it was constructed in the late 1880s, like it was all dug by hand and built by hand, and it's just amazing. And that retaining wall is still there now, 140 years later. And the embankment is sound as ever because we had some engineers look at the embankments and said, "There, you just need to clear the weeds off, put down fresh ballast, and lay the tracks." If only it was as simple as that. Bitter lemon and ginger beer are my favorite. Oh, I actually got myself a couple of bottles of ginger beer for over Christmas. I have had one, and there's one in the fridge. I might go and have that now after the stream. The Krabby's alcoholic ginger beer. really nice stuff. I can only have one bottle at a time because if I have more than that, it does give me a stomach pain. But like when I was younger, I hated beans, but now I eat them. Still hate them though. Yeah, I'm not a big veggie eater. I don't like beans and things like that. I eat a lot of fruit, but vegetables, nah, not my. Never ever liked greens. Or just and the people who eat carrots say, "Oh, they're really sweet." I'm like, no, they're not. They taste horrible. And peas, I think peas are just little balls of poison. They're just oh. Quite a few unhappy farmers whose land was compulsory purchase. Quite a few of them had a point as the road is now. Yeah, you get that a lot when they compulsory purchase land for a road or whatever, and it cuts somebody's farm in two, and it just really wrecks their farming. Not a fan of milk on its own, but still drink. See, I don't like milk either, but I have it with cereal. I'll eat it with Weetabix or have a milky hot chocolate. Actually, I have a recipe for ginger beer, and I tried making it. It's really yeah. I do like this. Is the alcoholic ginger beer, which is nice. Or I like porridge. Porridge with a little bit of honey in it and some fruit. Oh, really nice. Peas are great straight from the plant, though. Oh no, just good night, John. I'm gonna yeah. It's 21:29 according to me now, so I'm gonna start signing off now. Oh, you're not one of those people, Brian, who eat Weetabix hot. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, they have to be cold milk, a little bit of sugar. Weetabix, yeah. Oh, not hot and all soggy. Oh, God, no. What time is it there right now? It's 11:30. It is 9:30 at night here, Markland Train Junction. I used to make ginger beer near and covered occasionally. Makes me gag cold. Oh, it'd make me gag warm. Oh, you're one of those who have your porridge with water and salt. Yeah, that's old school, Tom. Anyway, there we go, guys. It is 9:30. I'm going to say good night. Yes, it has been a good stream, good chat with you guys. Yeah, it's part of the technical difficulties at the beginning. I don't know why that happened. Just one of those things. Sure, it's probably got something to do with Microsoft. So anyway, I'm going to end it there. Oh, new member, Brian Roberts. Thank you very much for becoming a member, sir. So yeah, probably not going to get time to get a video out tomorrow. It's probably not going to happen, but live stream back again next Thursday. I might get the video done over the weekend and put it out early next weekend. I don't know. I'll try, see what I can do. But thanks for tuning in, guys. It's great being here with you Thursday evening, chewing the cud, as they say. And I will hopefully see you all next Thursday. So good night. Enjoy your modeling, and I'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.